couple of things I could potentially read chat that comes. This is one of them. Alright, let's get started. So welcome everyone to today's stream. This is a tutorial playthrough of Chronicles of the Sword, of Soulcalibur 3 in general. We're going to be doing mostly Chronicles of the Sword, but we have other things as well that we're going to be doing. So, time to play settings. I have the screen ratio on normal, 4:3. I guess that's okay now. I kind of prefer widescreen, but this is working out, so we'll just go with it. Let's... controller settings is what I'm looking for. First thing we need to do is change the default. This is one of the things I do. R1 needs to be B plus K. And L1 needs A plus K. Don't really need either of those. Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay, fine. What were you at? Kick? Guard. Okay. Using the stick oftentimes goes a little bit far. Check those. B plus K, A plus... Everything else is green, which is normal. Alright. Alright, our memory card is formatted. Now we have it. So first thing we're actually going to do is go to Tales of Souls, and we are going to play Soulcalibur. Not Soulcalibur, Nightmare. Soulcalibur, I say, as I scroll over to Nightmare. We're doing Nightmare. So we're going to play through Nightmare a couple of times to unlock his ultimate weapon. How did that hit? That was stupid. Sometimes that happens. This is a pretty decent attack that can be usable in... Oh, darn. This is unfortunate, actually. We're going to restart it. I didn't pay attention to where I was going. So you have the multiple paths in the Tales of Souls, which is kind of interesting, but... some of the paths are much faster than others. This is something that we started learning in the development of speedruns and such. But in particular, entering Olkadan's labyrinth but then leaving it is the fastest way to get through the Tales of... Okay, this is my first choice. I need to select choice 2.
A light of hope for the versus Sophitia. Fight.
So this attack is a pretty good spammable ability. One of several. And it is available eventually to barbarians at level 30. So for a first playthrough of this game, considering that the barbarians start with Iron Sword, which is a good ability, I've decided it's probably better to start with barbarians rather than Dancer for a first playthrough. Once we've unlocked a few more things to supplement the Dancer a bit better, you can use Dancer, say, in a second run through of this game. So the object of this, of course, is to just unlock everything as fast as possible. Once I eventually have everything unlocked in this game, at least everything needed for a Chronicles of the Souls run, this is an emulated file, so I'll be submitting this memory card to the resources page of speedrun.com so other people can download it and make use of it. Come on, Zossomel. Here we go. With the very good range, it does a lot of knockback to push away, but with the very good range, let's see, continue working your cover strength in this land is our first step. and then acquire a little more power first. This will set us on the road to
Versus thief. Fight. You win.
This is gonna be great.
Versus
if you say so.
fight.
One of the reasons I'm doing this too is because it will unlock, once I do get level 30 with the Barbarian, it'll unlock Soul Edge for Nightmare, which is a very powerful weapon. Similar to the Mirasame for the Katana, if you see on regular speedruns. I talked about how its increased strength and super life drain make it such a powerful weapon, and we're going to be able to see that eventually. So this will also give us a little bit of starting gold, most of which we'll be spending, but enough to hurry on ahead. We don't care about fighting the extra battles. We could for a little bit of extra gold and such, but don't really need it. Not that useful. Now we have to defend ourselves against Cervantes and his sudden attack from behind as we sneak aboard his ship somehow without ever knowing. So first Soul Edge wielder versus second Soul Edge wielder.
I shall cast you into a watery grave.
If you say so.
Versus Cervantes. Fight. Disappear, you cur. You win. Offer yourself to the undead. She rolled.
Okay, now I have to be careful not to get a ring out here, which normally isn't a problem. But naturally the, oh, she's got a defense up weapon too, so it's doing less damage. Come on! I am too slow. Come on! Okay, well, there goes that.
You lose.
Fear me, for I am a demon.
Well, it's still going to be faster just to finish at this point than to do a new one. That's what's supposed to happen when she tries to block that. The defense up, oh my word. Are you kidding?
You lose. Nice.
Kind of unused to the controller I have to use here, but even so, this is ridiculous. How did...
Ring out. You lose. Nine.
You want
This is getting really ridiculous and quite embarrassing. I'll take it. Golly. Okay, I've already can't go into the labyrinth because I lost too many battles there. Normally you could then choose to go into the labyrinth, and it would cut out quite a lot of final areas. That's what you want for a speed run, especially. That Setsuka battle notwithstanding, you can see just how powerful this rolling to the side is. And usually that Setsuka battle is no problem. I've run this a couple of times with Nightmare, and I can blame the not having a regular PlayStation controller for my computer emulator as perhaps the main culprit, but... Come here.
You win. Offer your soul.
normally we would have skipped those two fights. We would have fought Raphael in the labyrinth and then gone straight to the end, which is why that it's such a good thing for the speedrun. Cuts out so many battles by slipping into the labyrinth and then noping out on it instead of going in further. As well as skipping the cutscenes and stuff we have to see at the end here as well. But unfortunately, Setsuka decided that she absolutely was not going to play today.
Versus Siegfried. Fight! Disappear! You win! I shall...
I'm impressed that you made it this far. Not bad at all. My dream is about to be realized. You, however, are not worthy of witnessing this glorious moment. Leave this place at once.
The good news is that unlocking the things I need to unlock by playing through the story is not determined by how well you do. All you have to do is finish the game twice with Nightmare, once with all of his other weapons unlocked. Unlocking them requires the first time. That's why we have to do that.
That's the best you can do. How weak.
Versus Abyss. Fight!
You can see how much damage I'm doing with Soul Edge as well. This is the exact same Soul Edge we'll unlock by winning the game the second time. And so having that huge attack bonus means that in general it's just going to be a great weapon. Now we get our ending. In most cases, it's actually faster to get the bad ending than the good ending, if that matters to you. For instance, I've considered trying to route this into a any percent fresh file speedrun, or or even a all enemy speedrun, any kind of fresh file speedrun. If I decided to do a run without and if I did so, I would
The legend will
89,250 gold, pretty average. If you do like all the bonus missions and get a bunch of perfects, you can get a lot more money than that, but that's pretty standard. Unlock Sofitia, Yoshimitsu, and Cervantes. Normally we don't unlock Yoshimitsu, but we were forced to fight him because of the other. That's okay. Everything needs to unlock anyway, eventually.
welcome.
Okay, now we need to go to the weapon shop.
History.
Hi there. You look
Okay, we need the steel paddle, Soul Edge Larvae, and Soul Edge Cocoon. That one is for Siegfried, I believe, so that's...
looking for something? Come again. Thanks a lot.
Okay, now let's go again. This time we're going to equip the steel paddle, which does increase damage and knockback.
Versus Berserker. Fight. Disappear, you cur. You win.
And now we can start to see just how good this is. Oh, blast, I did it again. Oh well.
Versus Ivy.
I guess we're going to take a longer route. I'm just going to go with it. We'll fight other people this time. It'll be totally different. I don't get to show off the speedrun category because I, again, was distracted at the moment I really needed to not be. Gonna fight Tira now. One of the other things that it's rather convenient to the speedrun that, and this applies to all characters. If you're interested in running any character for the speedrun of Tales of Souls, which some of our other mods and admins on the Discord for Soulcalibur have been interested in doing for multiple Soulcalibur games, you know, seeing people try their favorite ones. But every character, some are disadvantaged by having a few fights where they have to fight multiple enemies, but you can get a good 6, 7, 8 minute speedrun with any character because the route that goes to Okadan and skips multiple fights also happens to skip the Tira cutscene here. So if you have the Tira cutscene, you get that immediately, you're on the wrong path. They all have a specific, your first two choices determine whether you go on the Tira route, and it's different for each character. Some it's 1, some it's 2, though there isn't a super reliable one. But if you choose those, I'm just gonna go straight at 1. Last time I got Sophia, this time I get her sister. But anyway, once you find the correct route, we have some a couple of guides, I think, on this sr.com page as to how it goes. By sticking to that route, you make the game a lot faster. And so, of course, normally in a speedrun, whenever you pick the wrong thing, you'd immediately just restart, because it takes so much longer on this other route. Only takes a little bit of work to discover it, too. Because there are only 3 choices that matter, and they're all early on, so if you want to investigate it yourself, it's not that big of a deal either. Just choose one or the other, and then if you encounter Tira, you know it's the opposite of the choice you made. And then it's a little bit longer with Zoselemel's section, because you have to choose... You get 2 choices immediately, one after the other, and you have to make the right choice both times in order to be able to go to the... in order to go to the labyrinth. But there are also resources online, like GameFAQs and stuff, that actually have the routes for each character. Like they have fully unlocked route trees that tell the entirety of what battles you get into with all your choices in Tales of Souls. Alright, so that unlocked Lizard Man, which doesn't matter much, but sure. Pretty much every character fights every other character at some point in the Tales of Souls, depending on just all the choices you make.
Versus Taki. Fight!
Taki is being mean like Setsuka. I jumped that, but he did a guard impact instead. Again, the unfamiliar controls.
You lose. 9.
Using a It's actually an Xbox style controller, so of course the primary movement style is with a rather than a D-pad is with a stick. And this game actually doesn't like sticks much. It often, you think you're going straight down, but it's actually at an angle. So I attempted to guard impact when I was trying to jump over that arc. Oh well. And once again, if you don't go into the labyrinth, the ending's the same. You deal with Raphael.
Not killing me when you had the chance. Do not delude.
We'll go ahead and let ourselves be caged this time.
Wretched human.
I don't think it's actually any slower. Although, once again, going into the labyrinth skips that cutscene entirely, so that's why you want to speedrun. Suppose this thing is partially tutorial for showing how to do the unlock, but kind of bad as a tutorial since I'm totally blew the... Oh, I'm letting myself get caged. Okay. I don't think it's any slower at this point, though. I think we should be fighting Soulcalibur instead, which is essentially the same.
I'm impressed that you made it this far. Not bad at all. My dream is about to be realized. You, however, are not worthy of witnessing this glorious moment.
That looks a little better. That cutscene was not properly prepared. Holding a sword in his right hand.
You win.
Impressive.
Probably is slightly faster because
But I did not come all
slightly
this way
reduces the time of
just
this
to die here.
cutscene when you have to defeat Soulcalibur. Instead, because he doesn't do the whole spiel, he already did that. It might be slightly longer than Nightmare spiel. It's hard to say. I haven't really timed it to find out. But the reduced time of that part probably makes it faster to get caged if you reach this point. Again, not that it matters. If you were speedrunning this, you'd just essentially reset whenever you were unable to enter the labyrinth, either because you made a wrong choice or died.
That's the best you can do. How weak.
Steel Paddle does give a damage increase, but it's not as great as Soul Edge's. Darn it, again. I'm trying to make use of the stick. It feels nice in some ways, but again, all that life gain, though. Sometimes you think you're... Yeah, I need to not stick to the, not use the stick. I just can't get exact, maybe I'm just too unused to it, but I can't get exact, directions from it. Come on, Abyss. There we go. Okay, good enough. Alright, so that'll unlock Soul Edge for us. Of course, after the difficulties I've had, I'm starting to have doubts that it'll work that well for me, but we'll see. And just for the heck of it, I'll show off the good ending, so-called good ending, if I can.
It's nearby. Don't leave your post.
This was most likely the first time you saw Night Terror in this game. Like, oh, holy cow, what the heck? Night Terror rampaging around takes a little bit more time than Nightmare, though, I think. Maybe he doesn't, actually. Maybe he does. Yeah, he has to float up all this way. Pretty sure that's a little slower. I ought to time them both so that if I am serious about doing a fresh file and adding this in.
The legend will never
Only
die.
67,500. Ouch. Possibly because I fought less battles where I went. Also, only had a defeat at the ending. That's probably the big one. Unlocked a couple of weapons. And Nightmare's ultimate weapon, Soul Edge, now available. So now, that will make further Nightmare things easy. Before we get started on Chronicles of the Sword, let's go ahead and purchase some weapons for my characters that I'm going to have.
You looking for something?
Let's see. Bodao. Not really all that useful. Potion. Kunai. Sometimes guard impacts increase attack power for a short time, perhaps, or they're faster. I can't remember what that symbol means. Iron Sword Claymore is not that good because it only does defense, so I don't care about that either. Quarterstaff increases defense and sometimes negates counters. Not good either. Okay, so nothing really useful for this ones I want to use anyway. So
Come again. Thanks a lot.
once they start unlocking, though, I should have some stuff. All right, let's go ahead and start our Chronicles of the Sword game now. Let's go ahead and make us. I usually do a female main character. We'll do a male this time. Although we'll dress him up like a thief because I like the fit of that better. Crew cut, what do we got? Artist. Long straight, long. Go with the crew cut, mostly hidden by his bandana anyway. Oh, whatever, close enough. I want to change his voice. I just realized he's going to be evil, so I have to play around with this. Leaf shirt, yeah, it's evil. Chain armor. Oh, enchanted coat. There we are. And get rid of the scarf since we have this coat. Much better. Coat's gonna be red. Let's go ahead and make the pants black as well. There. Okay, good enough. Okay. Art of War. Okay, need to level up my own characters mostly for the purpose of don't mind this character, but I'm gonna get rid of the Holy Jacket and the beret, I think. Maybe make the hair. her in a darker. That okay. Waist. Couldn't color that though. What color? That face is okay, but not my. I'm going to call this not purple enough, but oh well. Yep. Oh. With that. Staff is actually a good weapon. You haven't seen me use it too much, and we don't really get any characters who use it, unfortunately. But good to unlock some things as well, so let's see. Now let's go with a... I'll need to get a thief at some point as well to unlock things. I think I can mostly avoid the monk. No, I need to level up all classes, so I'll need to level up a monk as well. That'll be for later. Play around with quite a lot in order to... Oh, those are evil. We want question cards. Evil. Well, interesting. Cloth socks are better. What is the dancer stash fit? It's actually good. Ashigaru gauntlets. Happy, but not good. Ashigaru gauntlets are the best we can get there as well. Looks like it's time to add choker. And choker. Good enough.
Let's settle this fair and square.
Okay. We'll call that good enough. My Ninja Michiko. Okay, now, unit type, bandit, of course. And I can't actually do anything with the weapons right now, because there are no good ones, but whoops. Oh, I only get 2 in the first map. I forgot for a second. Eventually, when I get a lot of money, I'll just go and unlock a bunch of armor pieces to customize more, but not going to worry about it for a little while. Okay, we'll go ahead and sortie this then. Going to go ahead and take out every enemy to get as much experience as we can, because we need to get up our levels so that we can unlock things. Out. So except for not having my unstoppable units, this is going to be pretty much Chronicles of the Sword like any other run, taking everything out as quickly as possible. There are 2 places in particular that I need to
Watched over by
watch
the
out for.
ones,
Oh,
they
unfortunate.
unleash their fury.
Come on, come and get me.
Final battle, fight.
So that's the power of the quarterstaff.
You can't stop me.
during the course of this run, we may also, I really hope that we see something that we never will see ever again. That is the starting movement of a particular group, or a particular alignment set, rather, as I call the voice sets, depending on one of the 4 alignments determines which voice lines your character uses. It's otherwise the same voice actor, as it were, doing each boy 1 is one voice actor, boy 2 is one voice actor, man and old man. Same with girl 1, young girl 1, young girl 2, woman and old woman. But they totally changed their tone and dialogue based on their alignment, which is determined by your equipment. Which is why I was messing around with a few things there, because more than trying to get a particular appearance, I was trying to do that while also getting a particular kind of voice lines. I don't really like evil voices. I don't like evil characters. I don't even like it most of the time when my characters sound evil, so... I am a 100% good guy, paladin player, that kind of thing. Whatever. That's just me, so that's my style. Tricky.
I'll take you on anytime you want.
Decisive battle. Final battle. Fight.
You can't stop me.
Final battle. Fight.
Do you see now? You never stood a chance.
I wish they'd stop having her do that motion. I was thinking about it, though, because... Am I really that close to, they're only supposed to do that type of motion when they're perfect health, I thought. No, they have a different one. But that is the good alignment, the good alignment celebration. It looks pretty stupid, though, poking through her dress like that. As I say, each of the different alignments for a character, regardless of which voice you pick, have a particular motion that they that is in their collection of possible postures pre-battle and post-battle. Of course, defeat, everybody's the same, but a victory... their victory pose or action, whatever you want to call it, and their pre-battle motion. Most of those are based on their weapon style, but there are a couple that are alignment based regardless of their voice, regardless of... That, by the way, is also a pretty good attack, too. Comes out really fast, goes slightly to the side.
This really wasn't a fair contest.
Hail Phase 2 is a good one. Yes, actually, I want to save my gameplay. Unlike the speedrun, since that is important here, I want to make sure that all my data is saved. In case something, happens to my computer, I trod on the memory, on the power button or something, which, not that I've ever done that before while in a live marathon for other people. Okay, let's, probably should have just started them all at 3 as I usually do, because you still get to fight all enemies and whatever, but oh well.
Battle 1. Fight.
It looks like I got much.
Final battle. Fight.
Mission complete.
Doodly doodly. Once I start attacking that stronghold, Ishtar's gonna run out of it. Unless I manage to destroy it before she gets... Oh, I will, actually.
Decisive battle.
Interesting little advice she gives there. It would seem like she's talking to her own troops, but I wonder if it's intended as advice to you. Don't spread out your forces, concentrate on one target at a time. A lot of time that is pretty good advice. Especially speedrunning. B plus K puts you in a stance as if you're running forward, and then so it's actually really good for a couple of attacks. That running forward into kick is what I did there, and that's a very good knockback attack. If you're near an edge, it's not a bad ability to use to try and get a quick ring out. And some people have asked before why the brief time that I was running 100% category on this game, the question came up, you have all of these objectives at the end of every Chronicle that can be fulfilled. Why is it 100% completing all the objectives? And anybody who has played this game, enough to, and actually paid attention to those, they are almost impossible to all get. Whenever you have all strongholds taken and cleared within the required time together, that's pretty much impossible to get both of them. It's
Good luck to you.
really crazy.
Fight with all your might, as I will.
I didn't even notice I have a dagger in the back.
Fight.
That reach of that is insane.
I'll take you on anytime you want.
Our first level up. Don't get full of yourself. Darn it, were my tactics not good enough? All strongholds taken over, didn't get that, but I did clear it within the required time. Up to a decent amount of money now. Oops. Yes, I wanted to save. Okay. Been a bit since I've done a all enemies style one, so you go straight forward. You'll get plenty of experience. You get forward.
Final battle, fight!
Oh, darn it, darn it. That's a bit of a risky attack. It can knock out, of course, but it's pretty easy to sidestep. I got a little bit greedy and almost paid for it. It's also one of the most hilarious ones to see enemies using because they will oftentimes be throwing themselves out of that.
Final battle, fight!
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but I must move on.
I need to keep an eye on her pre-battle because if she does the limited edition start, I need to show it. I'll go ahead and leave her in there for a little bit just so that let's see, is that 2 as well? Yes, it is. I want to give a little bit more experience to Ailey by allowing her to attack that, but if we get through this other stronghold a bit too fast, Ichigo won't need it. She's almost certainly not going to be in any combat, but then Edith, whatever her name is, will retreat out of there to defend the main stronghold, and I won't get to fight her with Ailey.
Decisive battle.
Not a huge deal, but I just want to spread the experience around as I can early on.
Battle 1, fight!
There's very slight tracking on the second hit, but only on the second hit. If they... Strength is everything! That's a barbarian line.
Decisive battle. Final battle, fight!
Edith indeed.
You can't stop me.
Up to 170, still not enough to level though. The amount of experience you get in the early game is pretty absurdly low. Alright, a graduation test against Gerardo.
You are strong. One day, you will succeed in life. Of course, only if you manage to defeat me.
Battle 1. Fight.
That's such an absurdly good attack for stopping me. A quick, very quick thrust forward at range while you're trying to get in close enough to hit him with your abilities. So absurd. Oh well.
I'll take you on anytime you want.
That gets our main character up to level 3. Levels aren't going to matter to us to that much really until we get to level 30 with our characters. And only with the Barbarian. The other two don't really unlock any better weapons than what they start with. Eventually when I get my Dancer, of course, I'll want to get up to level 30, but... Okay, time to take a look in the shop to see what I can unlock. Don't think I can unlock too much yet, but... Maybe not a good time to wait to do it, actually. Okay, 3... Oh. I don't want to get too much experience on Mega, but I want to try and complete this Chronicle fulfilling all the objectives because, golly, what an awesome start from this stupid thief.
This really wasn't a fair contest.
This is really going to lessen my odds of being able to clear this thing perfectly and unlock a 4th character slot. That was the point of what I wanted to do, and having the kind of person would be Ojal, and then I didn't pay attention here. So now I'm not going to get any perfects. None of my characters have the strength to get perfect now. I wonder, I can't remember if that's one of the requirements or not in this Chronicle. I think it is. I need to check my notes that I made for this.
Battle 1. Fight.
Can't do that yet, though.
Fight.
This really wasn't a fair contest.
Decisive battle.
Minimal damage. I think I've probably already taken too much damage.
Battle 1. Fight.
Be careful from now on.
Decisive battle.
Yeah, there are lots of things like within the damage limit you have to complete a particular Chronicle. And some of the requirements for that are absurdly low.
Ring out.
It's sometimes absurdly easy to get ring outs in this game.
Battle 2. Fight.
You can run off some of the edges very easily. These ring outs are going to help the timing, though.
Final battle. Fight. Ring out.
Much better. Sheesh. If only the first battle had gone that well.
Wasn't a fair contest.
I'd feel a whole lot better about this. Alright, so now only 3 enemies left. Only 2 strongholds we really need to take. Hopefully this fulfills all the conditions. Eventually I'll unlock the 4th slot regardless. You play this game enough, you'll get it, but I would like to get it unlocked as soon as possible so I can start eventually add a 4th character to the characters that I can level up. Maybe go ahead and add the thief or the monk so I can get them out of the way. And again, some of the other things it talks about, like with the objectives, is requiring the stronghold within, defeating the stronghold within the time limit. When does the time limit start? As soon as you enter the Chronicle, before you even sortie, which is why I didn't go shopping, because that might be the case. I don't know. Does it? Does the timer of time requirement freeze when you're giving units orders, just like, you know, the game itself freezes? So is it real time, in-game time, specific running around time? Has no indication of that, or how much is actually required. They have all these objectives, but especially without any way of actually finding out what those requirements are, it's virtually impossible to do. That's also a good ring out hit too, as you may have noticed from my things.
Battle 3. Fight.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, definitely not going to have the take a knee, peasant.
Really wasn't a fair contest.
So I'm probably not going to qualify for all of the objectives, which means I can't unlock that 4th slot yet.
Absolutely
Very unfortunate.
No intention of dying here.
And I really needed that too, because they don't get any easier to accomplish. Not on your first playthrough, anyway. But oh well. The point of this is to unlock everything slowly and show how it can be done. If I can't do it perfectly, then... but just if I make aware that that is a possibility. But it's one of the reasons why I don't... As good as that attack seems, and a lot of people know it's good... Ooh, it is available in the item shop. Maybe that was it. Yes, it was enough. Okay, good. Next Chronicle. We're going to go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go to the shop. First of all, see if some better weapons have been unlocked for those styles that we like. Oh. Need to go to the weapons shop.
Please come again.
Lynette's my favorite of the shopkeepers, but unfortunately she's the least useful to us right now. All she is cosmetics. See, there's a lot of things available now. Whoops, that was the wrong one. All these loading times. Hello, Valeria. I need to buy something from her anyway, and that thing, so I probably should have done it while I was here. Oh well. Well, I'm being forgetful and all that. Okay, let's see. Chris is a dagger weapon, right? Yeah, we don't care about that. Assassin dagger would be better. Nothing new for kunai. Anything new? Demon knife for iron sword. Yes, that's the one we want. Now we'll do more damage. Kogarashi for sickle. Nothing new for staff either. Unfortunate. Okay, now let's go to the item shop.
Thanks a lot. Are you looking for a good speed to you? Please come
I
again.
keep forgetting which R I'm supposed to use, R1 or R2.
Welcome to my store. Farewell, good luck. Please come again. Welcome.
Okay,
Are you looking for anything?
custom character +1.
Thank you.
Boom. And otherwise, we can get weapon demos for all these characters, but
Are you
that's
looking
all.
for anything in
Okay,
particular?
so now I can create a
Good
new
speed
character.
to you. Please come again.
I guess I'll go ahead and make a monk. And start to level up the monk. Places where I don't need another character. We'll go ahead and make another male monk. And you're perfectly fine like that. I don't care much. Yeah, you can use that voice as well. Monk is going to be named, I'll go with a monk character that I use in D&D times K. K Shang-Tu is his full name. We're just gonna give him his short name. He can only use Nunchaku. Actually, let me go back since I went ahead and got him. Let me see if he has a,
Welcome to my store. Farewell, good luck. Please come again.
let me see if there's a, barrier Nunchaku for him to
You
use.
looking for something?
Let's see, that's definitely going to be in this slot. Doesn't look like it. Tetsuryu is Maxi. Gemini Rod, increase knockback and sometimes do counters. No, it's not what I'm looking for. Not at the moment.
Thanks a lot.
Need to save up my money for things I can really use. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just do these two though. Let's see. I'm going to do this the simple way. Go ahead and have each character start right like that. It's fine. Don't really care that much about the objectives here. Just want to defeat all these enemies, rack up the experience, and finish out the
Battle
Chronicle.
1. Fight.
Monk with, or the Saint with Staff is very good early on.
Battle 2. Fight.
When life is not as big an issue because again, the danger of using that flying leap pull vault kick.
3. Fight.
Oh jeez. Staves have no good, the quarterstaff, the big problem with it is that it has no good life drain weapons or life recovery weapons at all. So
Final battle. Fight.
you can see the power of this offense at work. It's a very good attack, but
You're way too weak.
if I happen to run into a situation where okay, I'm gonna let her stay there for a while. Luna's abandoning, which is just fine. I am actually going to fuse my way through this. Oh goodness, Luna's deciding to go up there and fight there, huh? Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's get Michiko some experience. Let her fight Luna.
You're certainly a handful. I shall remember your name, as you are the only one who has...
The ambience of the lava cave here is really messing with the Luna's image.
It looks like I won today, but who knows what'll happen next time.
Indeed, who knows what'll happen next time. Yeah, you're enough for final area. Even in droves, they're still too weak. I'll kill you slowly.
Two heroes final battle. Fight!
Level 4 Barbarian versus level 60 Barbarian. I think the second hit is special mid.
Really wasn't a fair contest.
That's the two and the Iron Swords victory formation on a perfect, which is unusual. As seen. Okay, now this is going to be quite a run, but it is probably faster than going through a stronghold. I am going to go ahead and fight these four. Let's see. Ailey, go ahead and stay inside that stronghold. But I'm going to do it inside of that stronghold all at once rather than taking one of the strongholds. Because they will all run back to defend and try and take this stronghold and defend the main stronghold once it comes under attack. And you as well. Go ahead and head all the way through. And here they come. And she'll get some more life back while she does it. Now we will get to see the rare occurrence of the whirlwind working against us, or against our enemy. Not really a style that can take advantage of that in any particular way, but...
Battle 2. Fight!
I have no idea how it might throw off the being moved around like that might throw off the AI's reaction to me, but...
Battle 3. Fight! Final battle. Fight!
You're way too weak.
Sage with Staff is probably one of the classes I would use if I were doing another challenge run that was like single class only. Similar to my MCO. I've thought about all sorts of challenge modes like that to make the game slightly more interesting rather than just loading up on a dancer and 4 sword masters. But they have to get pretty convoluted. It's why MCO is one of the best ones, because I'm forced to use what is given me there. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't give there are just some that you never get to see that are still good. Like, you don't really get to see Yuri Dice on the Iron Sword much. Not in 80%. She just doesn't come around anywhere useful. You don't see the staff at all, which is one of my favorites for... I'd say it has too many drawbacks to be part of the main set when Mirasame is just so powerful on Swordmasters, but... The second hit here, the reason that this throws off the AI is because the second hit is special mid, but the AI treats it like mid, and the first hit on block forces you into a crouching position. So if you just hold block, you'll actually block both hits. On occasion, they'll actually do that. But the first hit is regular mid, so they can't crouch block it, and so they will frame perfectly attempt to stand up, but frame perfectly get hit in just the right instance. Another new thing available in the item shop. I wonder what that is. No, not more than 4 per victories. Not all strongholds taken over. Okay, now for the next Chronicle, I can unlock another character slot. It's pretty tough though. I have to take over all enemy strongholds, obtain at least 4 perfect victories, prevent your side of the bridge from suffering 20% or more of its damage, which is easy, minimize the damage your units take, and do it all under the specified time period. The best way to do that is not to, probably not to use they take all enemy strongholds, it said. That is one of them. Yeah. Okay, so going to avoid Ivy then, and possibly Rowan. Very last beta. Rather than my new monk, I'm going to be using him. Okay, so 3 at 3. 2 at 2, but one of them is going to be heading up there instead. It's a little bit funky. Now I'll have 3 at 3 there and take out all those strongholds that much faster. Okay, 4 perfect victories is going to be the trickiest thing. If I know I'm not going to get it, I'm going to go ahead and take on Ivy as well for the experience. Best chance of getting 4 perfect victories is with Mega. I'm not sure how much these loading times detract from doing it in the required time, quote unquote, but
Final battle, fight.
okay, there's one.
I'll take you on anytime you want.
Okay, I think I did it before they took damage, so...
Final battle, fight.
I don't know if that counts because it was a ring out.
Be careful from now on.
I should keep an eye on that. I want to finish them as fast as possible, but it may not count as a perfect victory, so...
Final battle, fight!
Ah, darn it. So there goes that. Okay. So only one perfect victory so far. That's unfortunate. I need to get 3 more. I'm not going to worry about restarting it if I don't get it. I'll get it eventually just by finishing things, but hopefully Rowan will end up on that side of the stronghold. With only one person, there are odds that he won't quite make it. There. Okay, he's running forward. Good. That's exactly what I want him to do, actually. Let's see. I don't think that...
Decisive battle.
This is going to be Ailey, so okay chance of getting a perfect.
Battle 1, fight!
Oop, not a fight. Nope, no longer.
Do you see now? You never stood a chance.
I got a little bit antsy about taking a hit. Trying to get perfects is so much harder. Obviously, if I'm not full health, I can't get a perfect, so... Not matters that much for the people that aren't involved in the combat. Because if I am forced to use them to try and get the perfect... Okay, so I do have to... Oh no, this is 2 enemies. Alright, so... I have a chance of getting perfects here. Again, I have a lot of chance.
Battle 1,
But...
fight!
Darn it. So much for that. Yeah, this is poison, so it would have been impossible anyway. Darn it. I'm not minimizing the damage I take, though. I got a bit sloppy. I needed to just do what worked instead of trying to do fancy things. She's way too defensive.
Final battle, fight!
Oh, jeez. Well, that's pretty much it. You lose a character, and that's the end of most of the things. That's not going to minimize the damage I take because of that. That's totally done now. No matter how powerful the unit, there's always a weak point. Thank you for that. Luckily, she has a really stupid AI and decides to step outside.
Decisive battle.
So I'm not going to get my 5th slot here. So I guess I'll just have to rely on mostly Mega the rest of the time. Not a big deal.
Battle 1, fight!
Yep, so much again for a perfect. Come on. This is on an 8-way run. So if I don't have enough doing 8-way run, it instead. Golly, he's powerful. Yeah, I definitely didn't minimize enough damage I took.
Battle 2, fight!
Oh my word. How did that hit before my shoulder charge hit?
This really wasn't a fair contest.
Yeah, I completely blew that, but oh well. You can unlock things by your other party members reaching certain levels, but not if they skip a milestone. You don't get anything retroactively, so pretty much you have to level up one of every class eventually anyway. I'm going to go ahead and restore health for now. Oh. Are they coming towards me? Where are they coming to? Yeah, right here. That's fine. Go ahead and fight them both, Michiko. So my attempt to make this a chronicle where I get everything is going to turn out to be very messy. Ah, missed.
Battle 2. Fight.
It was a decent match.
That's the light-dark alignment. Good side, cool attitude.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight. Battle 2. Fight.
I'm sorry, but I must move on.
Darn, she went inside it. I was really hoping that she would stay outside and I would fight her there. Because of the poison effect of that, I'm not going to be able to get any perfects there either, so I can't do any kind of recovery now. It's totally impossible for me to, if it ever was before, but once I lost one character, that was pretty much done.
Decisive battle.
If I hadn't hit the ring out there, if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't just blew it in a couple of these fights. But I did. Oh my word, seriously? There went one more chance at a perfect. No way, because of a simul hit that was just bull crap. The AI is way too good at that in this game, frame perfect hitting and such things. It is, although it has so many exploitable loopholes, that it doesn't have the proper programming to deal with. The AI, when it decides to be frame perfect in this game, is absolutely unmatchable. Now, provided I can win these 2 battles properly with my main character, I'm not even going to bother, though, if she dies. I'm just going to let them take the main stronghold and be done.
Battle 1. Fight.
Oh, jeez.
Death. Final battle. Fight.
No, 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 no. I forgot to equip his better weapon, too. Whew, close. But I'm not going to be able to beat Ivy like this, that's for certain. I went and bought him the weapon, and then I didn't give it to him either, which would have helped out by killing these guys a little bit quicker. Not fortify. Equip Iron Sword, Demon Knife, increased knockback as well as increased attack power. I'm going to let him recover as much health as I can before I go ahead and attempt Ivy. Even if I just die again, I at least get some experience out of it. I don't end up getting her. I'm not doing a speed run with particular requirements, so... just trying to unlock everything as high as possible and fast as possible, and getting much experience as you can helps for that.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, jeez.
Damn. I can't believe this.
Well, up to level 11. Which he got from the battle before, I think. It means that he can unlock his first new weapon. Not that he wants one. The only Chronicle in the game where you can rather anticlimactically take the main stronghold with nobody inside it. My other 2 favorite faces. Yep. Enemy strong defeated within required time. Nope. Allied unit damage below. Nope. 4 perfects. Nope. Took over all important strongholds. What are all important strongholds? Is that just the bridge on the other side? That might actually make it a little bit faster, even. You do it right. I might have to experiment with that later, because it may be easier rather than taking on them all to do it in time. I didn't notice the important before when I was reading it. Okay, so I don't get a thing here, and as I say, it's going to be pretty much impossible from this point on. Also, again, it doesn't tell you what the requirements are for 100% at the beginning of each Chronicle. It's a little bit cheap. Okay, we'll just go with the basic here. No, actually. I want to defeat all of these enemies, so we'll go ahead and meet them all on the road, at least.
Final battle, fight.
Oh, how'd that miss? It's kind of hard to aim. It's really powerful, that attack, but it is hard to aim. Oh, come on.
Mission complete.
Okay, time to see if I can use the nunchaku at all.
Final battle, fight.
Apparently not. Yeah, not very good with the nunchaku. Don't have a lot of really good abilities to use. 21 experience for losing, though. That was more experience than some got for winning in quite a few places. Like the first early level 1 enemies. And this was a generic, too. It's not like he's level 6, but it's not as if he's a named character. Okay, let's try again. No mission, huh? Yeah, our places almost never have good missions. Eventually I'll unlock a couple of decent weapons for the monk that at least do better.
Final
But,
battle, fight.
That was a pretty good warm-up fight.
that was perfect. When you have the ultimate weapon, there are a few things you can do with the monk that are slow but unreliable, like that. But they block a bit too much. That actually feels good. The sidestep was nice. At first, anyway. Katana is such a nasty thing, too. Having a samurai with the high attack power. Yeah. He's...
Damn. I can't believe this.
The AI always seems to block these a bit too much. The ultimate weapon restores your health every time you attack, and with all those multiple attacks that nunchaku does, it's actually good. Plus it
Decisive battle.
does chip damage when blocking. That's another weapon attribute that exists on some of the weapons, and that's a really good one for pretty much the same reason. I'm gonna die to Loopy here. That's very sad. Oh geez. Fortunate for her. If this is what your casual experiences were, is fighting through like this and getting owned because you didn't have good weapons or equipment, it's not that unusual or or bad. It's pretty normal. So if you watch a lot of my Soulcalibur speedruns, just see me breeze through things. Having those, it's the reason why. Whoops, wrong character. Revenge is sweet, especially since I hit him right before his shoulder charge hit, and in a way that wasn't as bad as the one I got earlier against Cervantes, but was similar. But yeah, having those ultimate weapons and ultimate classes makes a bigger difference than you'd think. It's one of the reasons why I use that as the basic. It may seem like a pain to anyone who hasn't played the game and unlocked everything as I have, but if you want to try the fresh files, go for it. You know, it's an interesting way to look at it, but just the sheer weakness of your characters compared to jeez, avoiding it perfectly with just those slight side steps. Take a seat, sheesh.
Be careful from now on.
The AI can be so good in so many places that you need to have all those edges of all the most powerful things you can pull up in order to have a real chance at it. Again, that's why. I mean, go ahead if you want to try a fresh file. I've played around with it, but it often takes a couple hours more simply because of how difficult so many of those fights are. Without the experience of your high-level characters and such. Without the extreme attack power of sword masters with Murasame and reliable attacks that you can use to do a huge amount of damage in a short period of time, you're struggling like that most of the time. I would love to see somebody who could do it in a short amount of time, roughly similar to my 80%, but I just don't think it's usable, which is why you want to do something like this to unlock everything first. And yeah, you'll struggle at first. You'll have these moments where you seem to have things figured out, you've got your abilities that work well, and all of a sudden the enemy totally sees through them and
Decisive battle.
just supplants everything you do. I'm going to do something really crazy and send my monk after the lizard man, just for the experience. Because I need my monk to get a better weapon than Nunchaka as soon as possible. What the... Oh, the guard break effect. Darn. Of course.
Final battle. Fight.
You can't stop me.
Underestimated us a bit. You took out 2 of us without any trouble. A lot easier than you should have. Fortifying this up to 3 so that we'll recover here. Both my leader who died there, and I don't like to spend a whole lot of gold, but it's not much really. And again, I'm going to be making great use of that. Eventually, he'll be able to get the lizard man down, even if it takes forever. And if not, he'll just keep dying in the meantime, whatever. He'll die, respawn, try him again, die, respawn, try him again. Lizardman does a lot of damage, but he takes a lot too. But this will be the fastest way to get him experience. 200 experience just for dying. I need to get him to level 10 so that he can get a new weapon. Either, I think it's Grieve Edge at 10, which is fine. It's a lot better than Nunchaka. You can spam that for victory.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Stupid whirlwind.
Fight.
Oh!
Fight.
Totally unfair. Totally unfair.
Battle 2. Fight.
You can't stop me.
Okay. Continue on in this chronicle, and give my poor monk time to batter his face against Lizard Man until he manages to finish him. That's the good news about the ones in the field, is that you can do that. So I'm going to continue to do that with... and this time around, I am going to... go ahead and stay on it until I... defeat him, because I need that experience badly. Especially on the monk right now. The rest of them, I of course need experience over the course of this game, but getting K up to be a reasonable weapon is most important. A spam is good for almost any weapon. At least for doing okay. Especially faster weapons. Alright.
Be careful from now on.
That and the death gets him up to level 5. So now he's halfway to level 10. Needs to kill 2 more Soulcalibur characters to make it though, so... Now we can focus on bringing this down. Michiko is now lagging behind. Not that that's a big deal. Kunai is really strong. Once she gets a really good kunai, even better. Every few chronicles or so, I'll check to see if some better weapons are available.
So we meet again. Now, it's time to collect on your debt.
Battle 1. Fight. Bring out. Fight. Battle 2. Fight.
Ah, cheat. He's the other person I need the most experience on for preternatural reasons. I need to get him to level 50. Ha ha ha, K. I may lose all 4 of my people here and have to start over. Well, if I do, then at least more experience. Yeah, this isn't really a speedrun, so... Of course, she perfectly guard impacts, as they can at any time, even against these unstoppable attacks.
You can't stop me.
I was hoping that she'll lose, though, and give Michiko a chance to get a bit more experience.
Fight.
Oh, yeah.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, darn it. We're all gonna die here, yeah. He's too good against the thief right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Haha!
Fight.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. So close. Ah, so close. Okay. Well, it'll give me another, as I say, lizard man kill for a lot of experience. I'm expecting this to take me... I'm going to do this every Friday for as many hours a day as I can stream it. Gonna have to quit earlier than I'd like to today because I have to make a trip and such things. But it's still going to be many hours of this. I figure that probably... a month to 2 months of this will unlock everything that needs to be unlocked. Might continue to do it until I get everything unlocked, all the equipment, all of the rest. We'll see.
Final battle. Fight.
I'm sorry, but I must move on.
Okay, let's see if I can actually beat this nobody this time. Nobody with a katana.
Final battle. Fight.
Okay, managed that.
Don't hold back next time.
This poor monk is going to have the absolute worst win-loss record by the time he's done, since I'm going to be throwing him into such high-level competitions. Who's going to get here first? Actually, looks like it would have been, if I hadn't forced a little bit further along, would have been the main character.
Final battle.
Twin Kane.
Fight.
You can't stop me.
It's such a funny weapon. A lot of its attacks, the growing to a regular length staff is kind of neat just on its own, but when it turns into the giant log moves, that's when the power pull extend gets a little bit absurd, which would be faster this way, I guess. Nope. Still not quite. There we are. Good. I was hoping that I wasn't going to get cleaved up by the knight. That is obviously very bad.
Final battle. Fight. Fight.
Be careful from now on.
You'll actually have Michiko go after as well, just because she's lagging behind a bit in experience. She probably won't kill Lizard Man, but she may weaken him enough to, but, well, no. Kay's so weak, he's going to get one shot anyway. No, but he'll go a little bit faster with them doing that. I do need to get them all to level 30 eventually to unlock Swordmaster, so of course that matters.
Sorry.
Oh, darn it. Darn it. That's a mean move with all guard break. Totally absurd. Oh, jeez. She started out really well, but she's going to rack up a lot of losses here, too, because she's just too low level. Haha! Nice.
The art of Kung Fu made all the difference.
The art of Kung Fu. Clearly, the art of Kung Fu. That win gets him up to level 6. Again, now he's higher than Michiko, which is very sad since the lower tier person, but he needs it a lot more than Michiko does. That kunai does work really well in a lot of circumstances, regardless. Any hit from Lizard Man is going to wipe me out, so I have to be careful too if I want to do any damage whatsoever, which I don't expect to win at this point. But okay, finally got me. Took him down quite a bit in one shot. That's not bad. Gets him up to level 7. One more victory will probably put him at 10, I think. Or really close to it. I think you're going all the way, but sure. The Grieve Edge is a really good A-string spammer, as well as B-string spammer. It comes out really fast as well. It's not quite as useful in some ways, but it just comes out so fast that mixing up AA and BB is really good. Yeah, I'll let him do it. At least until he's 10. Then I'll switch to focusing it on whoever's lowest level. Get up experience as evenly as possible. Until we get to the all-important 30. Focusing on the leader to get to 30 is important too, though. Since I have that built-in super weapon for him. Oh, jeez. I... didn't even inflict any damage. Clearly excellent.
I can't believe this.
I forgot to approach defensively first just to avoid such a scenario. That is the power of a high-level assassin. His hit points are actually pretty low for a level 60 character, only 399. But definitely the... Now, most of the characters that I use, the whirlwind on this stronghold is not any kind of problem whatsoever, but you can see the things it can do when you get pushed to the edge. Throw in a bit of those mix-ups. Okay, this is the way it's supposed to go.
Strength is everything.
If you say so. Alright. Let's have Ailey knock on the door a little bit. You go see if you can do some damage to Lizard Man. Kay had another shot. He did get one kill. He got 2 losses to him, which actually gifted him a lot of experience.
Final battle, fight.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bro is not bad, actually. How did he block that when he was in the middle of recovery? Ah, that's a death. So close, though. Not enough to level her. That's a bit sad and unfortunate. Well, Kay should be able to finish him. Provided I don't let him just totally one-shot me again. 20 health is only like 1 or 2 hits from AA with his defense. Hard to say. I'm not sure exactly how the formula for calculating damage is. Yep, took 2 hits because of his higher level, but that's okay.
Be careful from now on.
That's it, level 10. Now I've unlocked Grieve Edge. It won't until after the battle is over, of course. It has to calculate that.
Decisive battle.
Okay, let's see if we can get past this stupid scenario.
So we meet again. Now, it's time to collect on your debt.
Battle 1, fight. 2, fight!
Out of the way! Let's end this! 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 Give it up! Let's end
That was totally unfair. He should have gone out with that.
Battle 3, fight!
out of the way! Let's end this! 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 Give it up!
Okay,
This really wasn't a fair.
up to level 17. Well on our way to unlocking Soul Edge now. Phase 10 Horrible is now available. A few other faces are available. Most of them horrible. Definitely needs a game. Okay, now all teeth. Okay, before we go doing too much more, let's go ahead and go to the shop.
Can I help you? Farewell, good luck. Please come again.
Sorry, Lynette, I can't do anything with what you've got right now.
Hi there. You looking for something?
Okay, let's see. None of these are the weapons that I'm using. Always looking. Still nothing for Unai. Lance. Still nothing new for that either. Okay, so where is Grieve Edge? 'Cause I am going to be doing Grieve Edge now. Is that in... Or do we not have anything available for Grieve Edge? That's pretty creepy. Okay. Oh, here. Grieve Edge, which is increased defense and increased time for guard impact. I can't remember what that is.
Is this what
I
you
have
do?
money. I might as well, I guess, get slightly better things.
You have a sharp eye.
More, I am taking enough damage that it is not totally a bad idea to have more defense for those abilities. Tana's Woe Dao increases health, increases knockback. I don't really like the knockback that much, though. Okay, so we'll go with
You
that.
looking for something?
I don't think there's anything in the item shop available since I didn't do well on any of them, but
Welcome.
good to check.
Are you looking for
Oh, I do get another custom character. All right, now I get 5. That's all I really need
good speed?
until I start
Come again.
unlocking more classes, but we'll go a female thief. We'll have her just be as she is.
Is there no other solution to this?
Excellent. That's what I want. Which actually means I need to grab Assassin Dagger too. Now I have my 5 custom. Okay, let's stop.
Welcome to my store. Farewell, good luck. Please come again. Hi there. You looking for something?
Alright, Assassin Dagger does more damage and increases damage on so. Dagger is not a fast weapon, but it is an easy weapon to cheese with at least. So Alright, you equip... Okay, you get Staff right now, rather than Grieve Edge, but that's actually better. I thought it was Grieve Edge at this point, but that's fine. You go ahead and equip New Quarterstaff. You equip Assassin Dagger. Okay. Still nothing really good for Kunai, though, either, so... Alright, this will be it, then. Okay, Michiko, go deal with Rock. Everybody else hide in there for now. We're largely just going to wait here for most of the enemies to show up.
Battle 1. Fight.
That's rare when they block both of those hits. Ooh, no, 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 no. Naturally, a katana being a dangerous adversary, even to my main character.
Battle 2. Fight.
Be careful from now on.
Experience was not worth the damage that I took, really. Alright, fortify this up. So we'll recover if we die, and also so we have a few more hit points to defend against as many enemies as possible. And just a small time save consideration of eliminating the need to start as many battles. I need to kill those two off to get started, but... Darn it. Okay, there we go. That's the way that that's supposed to work.
Move on.
Already doing the other posture, though. I wonder what causes it. There's a particular posture for light, neutral, or light, cool characters that that they only use when you start a new game for a short period of time before they swap to the contemplative, standing there look that you'll often see. I'm gonna go ahead and start the battle with these four because they're doing too much damage, and next time it'll finish breaking, as it were.
Battle 1. Fight.
Out of the way! Out of the way! Let's do this! Let's end this!
Again, these people are doing way too much damage to me fighting my attacks. Most of them are generic, so they aren't going to give that much experience to a level 17. Then this. That was worth by a bit of experience, though.
Battle 3. Fight.
Yep. Catch. Easy sidestep grab for a instant ring out.
4. Fight.
How is that faster?
Battle 5. Fight!
This is reality. You must learn to accept it.
That's a Saint line, one of the weirder ones. That makes me wonder what the point of it is. How it applies to being a saint. Saints, if they're supposed to be the equivalent of a priest or something, some sort of clergy, which their dress would seem to indicate as well. Only one left, so let's go ahead and have Michiko fight. Those two off to the sides. I believe I can manipulate into coming forward by running forward myself. Usually I don't have to worry about them because I don't worry about fighting everything, but...
Battle 1. Fight!
Oh, missed.
Mission complete.
Definitely good to be able to play some of these other weapon styles again, though, since I'm actually playing through a new game instead of doing a speedrun. I'll probably, once my monk gets up to 30, if I'm still doing something with him, I might actually quit to... Now, at what point will I draw those two into... You can go ahead and go forward. I don't know if you guys are going all the way, but you need... I know that they'll run back to defend at some point, but... a lot faster let them defend than to go and take the stronghold myself. Or at least that's my idea. Okay, yeah, she's running back to defend there. Perfect. We take that. Go ahead and defeat this. Once again, should be a just generic enemies, but trying to get all the experience I can. Once I get to Chronicle 20,
Final battle. Fight!
I'm going to go ahead and, if I haven't already made level 30 with all of my characters, which I actually should, I'll go ahead and, or is it 50 you need to get to? I can't remember. I need to double check that again. What you need to unlock Swordmaster. It might be 50, in which case I'll be fighting it constantly and leveling up these 5 characters to level 50 just constantly.
Next time.
That's my level 10, so now I get a new weapon. Can't remember what it is. Maybe the sickle? Not a particularly great weapon, but I might use it for AG.
Decisive battle.
Okay, now I have to deal with ice, though, so that's going to be particularly troublesome, as it always is.
Battle 1. Fight!
Let's see what we slide! Oh, seriously? Yeah, of course. Seriously? This attack is okay on ice, at least. It keeps spinning me around him, but... Chip damage kill. It's very unfair that they let you chip damage kill. Most of my moves are difficult on ice at best. This one isn't bad. It misses one of the attacks, but the other one usually... I gotta get really close, though, or else I go spinning out of the way. Okay, 2 down. As long as I can have one survivor.
Battle 3. Fight.
Her defense is so good. Woo! Edge. Oh, jeez. Yep, there's ice.
Final battle.
Okay, part 2. Ooh. Ah, she's too good.
Damn. I can't believe this.
Ice, 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 ice. Ice is not nice. Well, at least I didn't lose everybody and have to start all over. In fact... I will recover them here. Now I have to defeat another 2 characters on ice, though. But with one person, I think I want to wait until I recover before actually finishing it off, just in case. I don't trust one person on ice to win the day. Okay, if these 2 can't do it, the other 2 following should be able to finish off. Unfortunately, she's likely recovered all of her health, which is bad, and we have another character to replace the one I beat, but that's generic, so shouldn't be as troublesome. That might actually be a better attack, as not holding it for the ice.
Battle 2. Fight.
How did that hit from that range? Jeez, the range of that. The range of the tip of her sword is just absolutely insane. The range, whenever I seem to use that weapon, it doesn't have that good range, but here... This is actually not a bad attack for the ice, though. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Saw that coming, too.
Fight.
No, I'm not. And if it all else fails, spam fast attacks like that. Okay. Ichigo started to redeem herself, up to 14 wins and only 4 losses now. Looking really rougher on the last map, but... Okay, now just Mooncalf against what'll probably be 3 people. Perfectly fine. Alright, Mooncalf kills Halfus.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Nice and easy.
Don't hold back next
Gets him up to 19, just shy of 20. Which will unlock his second weapon, which is Wave Swords. I believe he unlocked Grave Edge with it first. Then he'll unlock Wave Swords. Not that either is that much better than the Iron Sword, or any better, really. Saint Job is a new class, Ninja is a new class, because they each made 10. Bunch of new parts. To 500,000 gold. I think 9,999,999 is the most you can get. Maybe it's 99 million. I can't recall. I don't pay attention to my gold that much. Epistemia. Some of the names in this place. The Cluster Pemdo, Epistemia is the capital here. They have some weird ones. Okay, how do I want to do this? I care about saving those characters most. Let's just go ahead and invite them all up top here. And then we'll, I don't need to worry about saving Aelion, though, so yeah, this is the best. I can save the two that are important, Narage and Canon, and that will add them to the party. Not that I'm planning really to use them. Comes right down to it, but, I just want to add all the characters I can to the party for this. I'm not sure why. Maybe I just feel that in case I need to use them for something or other.
Final battle. Fight.
Wasn't fast enough to knock him out. Darn.
everything.
Strength is everything.
Final battle. Fight.
Answer solo stats. Oh, but she's got a life-stealing weapon. I got a little bit too cute wanting to ring her out instead of just hitting her. Gave her a lot of chance to come back. Oh well, she was worth a lot of experience at least. And I guess I'll go ahead and take a chance on Setsuka. Those three hopefully will get to Canon right before she dies. Yeah, they'll be fine. Ichiko's getting 2 destroyed. I was hoping maybe for the other knight to come up as well so I could fight all of them in one big go, but that's a bit too much damage, so. Don't want my guys slaughtered for no particularly good reason. This ability is 8-way run, either down forward or up forward, and then B. You need to hold the B to get both hits in. Otherwise, she comes across like that and knocks them down, but doesn't do the guaranteed double hit. I think that might be able to ring out against some empty edges. So I ought to try using him more for that, but the one guaranteed hit, oftentimes, even when blocking, it's one of those things where I don't think it's actually goes into unguaranteed, but simply because of the way that the AI reacts to it based on how they're blocked.
You can't stop me.
They try to do something immediately after the first block, and that leaves them open to the second. If they could have some sort of lifesteal or greatly increased attack early on with that weapon, it would be so much better. Hey, Leon's going to join us automatically. We don't have to bother fighting through strongholds to go grab her.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Oh, jeez. I got cute again. I paid for it. Oh, well.
That was a pretty good warm-up fight.
At least I didn't die. Again, as I am compelled to mention in my speedrun pretty much all the time, unlike every other form of Soulcalibur, every game mode, everywhere, ring outs are not automatic victories, except for, you know, some super bosses can't be hit by ring out, and they just fly back up if you try. But in this mode, it only does 50% of your maximum health, so you can recover from it.
Decisive battle.
Okay, Setsuka's probably going to come with a violent offensive right at the beginning, so I'll need to block that and then try and go into my...
Final battle. Fight.
Nope. That was a mistake. That was another mistake. Almost got her. Well, a little bit of free experience for somebody else and a bit for him. I should make level 30 round about Chronicle 10, I think, usually. Depending on how much experience I get there.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Kind of saw that coming, but yeah, it's a really good attack, but it isn't a stun lock, but that's okay. I have 2 characters left who can finish off her. And we're done.
Be careful from now on.
Precious 5th victory for poor Kay, who has been a sacrificial lamb. Okay, if I fortify that up to level 3 on the way, will it be enough to... my characters to regenerate there? It should be close enough, I think. We'll find out. Save a little bit of time.
Decisive battle.
When my monk gets to 30, I think I'll go ahead and swap him to Soul of Keelik and then go out and do the stuff to unlock Keelik's Soulcalibur. Because it's not technically as good of a... not technically as good of a weapon, probably. It's not quite as super reliable as that attack I've been spamming with the quarterstaff. But his Soulcalibur is definitely a better weapon than any weapon I can get on the quarterstaff, and plus it'll give me just another skill to use for variety. Might as well have a bit of fun while I'm doing this. I really like Keelik's style, even if it's not quite as unstoppable. Run and do his Tales of, so I can unlock Soulcalibur for him. Put that on him. Quite a ways away from that, though.
Decisive battle. A hero desired. Battle.
Yeah, all classes need to get to 50. Yes, he should have gone out and he totally slept it. That's the power of Hyle's weapon there. You can ring him out, but he has a good chance of resisting ring outs. At least when he's alive. It turns off when he's dead, so if I killed him right at the edge there, I could have knocked him out easily with one of my follow-ups, as I often have been doing with character. That's that. "26 new items have been unlocked." So many parts now available. Okay, we have to defeat all enemies, so it really doesn't matter how we go about this. Okay, everybody at 2 except for Tara, our brand new thief. Hopefully she'll be able to take care of all the guys ever. So she'll get a lot of catch-up experience, which is good. Oh, darn, I forgot to move my 5th character out. That's going to disrupt everything. Probably disrupt everything in entirety.
Final battle. Fight.
Goodness.
Don't hold back next time.
Up to level 24. 6 more levels and he'll unlock Soul Edge. Soul of Nightmare for Soul Edge. Not actually the most terrible that I delayed her, though. It looks like it isn't fouling up the AI too much. Doing little subtle things in this map can really mess with the AI in weird ways. It's been really hard to find the very best strat is, but this one I finally found is the most consistent. And I'm really not caring about taking out all the strongholds, so it's still best to just as quickly as possible kill all the enemies. Hopefully Michiko can get some catch-up experience in this battle.
Battle 1. Fight.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, got greedy again. I was kind of afraid of that, but I thought that I'd hit her first or wouldn't quite go all the way out if I missed. Okay, got one kill at least. Will probably be a level.
Battle 2. Fight.
Up to level 13. She gained 2 levels from the last one. Nice.
3. Fight.
Finally killed me, but a pretty decent little catch-up despite my mess-up of going out.
Battle 4. Fight.
Hey, I got a perfect.
Battle 5. Fight.
No more perfects. Goodness, heal, though. Stop it.
Final battle. Fight.
Goodness. One survived. Brilliant. Oh well. I wonder how that is going to change the AI as well. Okay, now time to see if Jara can do her job.
Battle 1. Fight. Battle 2. Fight.
Really easy to avoid this, but the AI often has trouble with it. On these lower levels, it's really good too. Starting with a thief just to get through the early portion easily is not a bad idea. They'll get better at avoiding it in later Chronicles. If you ever spammed this playing it casually as a kid, yeah, you're not the only one. I kind of really don't like it though, just because it's a little bit strainy on the hands to have to hold down the buttons to power them fully. You can do it without charging, but this is far more effective.
Final battle, fight!
See his better AI, he's moving around a little more. And he jumped over it. The basic one comes out fast, though, as you saw as well. It is not a bad
Like, I won the
thing to use, just not as reliable later on. I'm very glad that it got me through those 4, though. Gave her a bit of an experience boost.
Final battle, fight!
Don't hold back next time.
He didn't even get a level from that. How disappointing. Let's go ahead and have our guys start here.
Decisive battle. Battle 1, fight!
Okay, one down.
Battle 2, fight!
Rather surprised that that jump on that attack doesn't send him flying out of bounds.
Battle 4, fight! Battle 5, fight!
They stand up just in time to get hit by that. The damage is pretty extreme. He actually went out. Yes. As I say, it doesn't work every time. It did the last time, but not that time. There's a lot of catch-up experience for Chico. Getting her closer to level 20. Didn't fulfill a single requirement. That's hilarious. Oh well. Okay, final battle against Meta. If Oryx decides to go forward this time, as he usually does. Or Anaretta, either for that matter. I'll run back somebody to deal with them. Probably Shara, get her a bit of guaranteed experience. I'm going to go ahead and defeat all 8 people with my entire group and then send my entire group after Bung Mina. Try and take her out. Everyone who dies will recover in the central stronghold again. Okay, Oryx going back, I believe. He's going to defend. Nope, he is going forward. Okay. Maybe that's the trick. Now both of them are going back, which is fine. If I can get this to happen, this is what I want to happen in a speedrun. It's actually kind of inconvenient now. Oh, jeez. Of course. And that's why especially as a thief, the dagger is not a really, really good weapon. If you can get the bomb thing going and get them to act defensively, you can wreck them with it, but no defense at all. Okay, I'll just let Shara recover there. Run forward to deal with Oryx. Oryx is a actually difficult AI. I love the fact that I normally don't have to deal with him. Chinese swords in general are on characters that only on classes that have very strong attack to begin with.
A pathetic cur.
And
Dares to take on
they tend to be one of the 2 most aggressive, devastating styles I found, along with Katana. Those 2 AIs just happen to be bad no matter what. As we saw from some of the generic come on, Demuth. Again, I tried to get fused when I should just be spamming this constantly. Alright, 26.
Battle 2. Fight.
Luckily, Heil has no life regeneration, or this would be a truly absurd fight. I forgot to check if there were new weapons for any of my characters, too. Oh well. Come on. Enough with the guard impacts.
I'll take you on anytime you want.
Alright, Betty won those. Still up to only 26. Lots of characters to give experience, though, in this thing. I can easily gain another 4. I really hope to. I'd love to be in the next area with Soul Edge. course she did. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a shot.
Battle 1. Fight.
$27.
2. Fight.
Again, Katana, one of the worst ones. Okay, that's to 28. Didn't even see. Up to see here.
Battle
Nope,
3.
still 27. Yep, eventually they'll just walk around it.
Battle 4. Fight. Battle 5. Fight.
Come on.
Battle 6. Fight.
Got to get Battle 7. I'd attacked low instead of with the high attack. Might have interrupted him. Oh well, more experience for the next person. K probably? Nope, Ailey. They're gonna save K for last. Every time I think I know how they're going to arrange my characters, the standard for it, they totally change it. I think this stronghold still has a small effect on my offense, even when I'm defending it, but not nearly as much as we saw. Only the highest defense characters were taking no damage. Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor. Three new items available in the weapon shop. I need to check for some new weapons. Alright, maybe, hopefully, I can kill these two.
Final battle. Fight.
The one on the ground is slightly shorter range. Nice. Just what I needed.
Remember, the treasure is mine.
If only there were any treasure to get in this role-playing game. Well, we get gold for defeating enemies. For completing Chronicles, I mean. Your thief and your pirate, who I think use the same line pretty much, most of them anyway, want to be the ones in the coin collector dungeons.
Final battle, fight.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm defending a guard break dungeon, so we both have guard break on it. That confused me that she did. It's much better for her, though. Actually. Still good to charge because of the increased damage and knockback effect. She stood up right in time to get hit by it. Awesomely done. Oh, jeez.
It can't be. I lost.
Decisive battle.
Ooh, this could actually lose me the Chronicle right here. Only 2 characters left to defend this place. Probably not. They're both staff users, so
Battle
I have a very
one.
good chance of it. And they chose K first. That's very unusual. These are very high-level enemies, though.
Battle 2, fight.
That was totally uncalled for. Yeah, at this rate, he barely got through one. The Saint's going to have a little bit better defense, but okay.
Final battle.
Oh, jeez, and she's the samurai. Means her damage is really high. Do that right. That left me open. Oh, I think we've got it. Okay. Our heroine, Ailey.
This is reality. You must learn to accept it.
This is the only good weapon for Saints, too. They unlock Soul of Talim and Soul of Zosolmel. I love both of those weapons, but at least I personally am not any good with them against any of the AI here. Whenever I start a casual game and I have a couple of Saints using Talim and Zosolmel's weapons, they are oftentimes barely at 50% win rate. Get rid of her, not let her take this stronghold because that is definitely very slow.
Final battle, fight.
Come on. There we go. Phew.
This is reality. You must learn to accept it.
You say so. Alright. Now, everybody gang up on Sungmina on ice. If we all lose that, well, more experience to gain by doing this one more time. I really don't want to do that, though. Hopefully, if Kane can actually win the battle, that should put him up to 28, maybe even 29. And then by defeating Kiarkis and Chester, that should get me close to 30.
Decisive battle.
So boring. Gasp. You sure look easy to beat.
Battle 1. Fight.
I knew that was coming. Why did I... Oh, nope. No victory for him. He did some damage. Decent amount.
Battle 2. Fight.
Oh, jeez. Woohoo!
You're way too weak.
Got her all the way up to 22 now. Did they also unlock Dagger and Steel Fan? Which aren't, you know, super duper bad weapons. But definitely not in my top tier. So Staff is pretty much what Saint's gonna stick to the entire time. And because I'm so close to 30 though, I'm going to have, I'm just going to wait until Kane resurrects and have him go deal with Kiarkis. Again, this isn't really a speed run, so I don't need to do everything fast. (22, 18, 15, 6). Levels spread out nicely there. Thief also really doesn't get anything all that good. Anything better than Dagger. Sickle is okay. I'll probably swap to Sickle once I unlock that. There's a couple of good Sickles I can get. Did he make 28 from the death? He did. So might be able to get the 2 levels from winning the battles. If I can win both of them. Which isn't too bad. If I die to Kiarkis, I'll just wait until it resurrects and do it again. And I don't care.
Final battle. Fight.
Since Kiarkis is in the field, he's not going to recover. Oh, didn't hit? Seriously? I've got him, though. Excellent.
Be careful from now on.
29, but he's 1,000 experience away. I don't think Chester is going to give 1,000. I'll be close. I'll have to get it after Chronicle 11. Possible. I can't lose. So you just get. Also, nothing really better for Kunai. I can equip Sickle with her eventually, which is good for one fight in particular. Can she do it now? No, Katana Shuriken, of course, at level 20. So there are a couple of fights where that would be useful. It probably would be worth it for me. Go ahead and go to Sickle with both Thief and Ninja, because they will unlock it. What else does Thief unlock? Dagger, sickle. Let me check my notes. I have all that written down. Wave sword. Oh yeah.
All right.
Thief needs to get to 20 to get sickle as well, though. So I don't know when I'll get that. We'll see.
I must protect this country. I have this brilliant plan of pitting Grandal and Dalkia against one another, and then rise to power during the resulting chaos. But because of your unexpected meddling, my plan is in ruins. You will pay dearly for this.
Battle 1. Fight.
Ha! Yes, I made 30. I got just enough experience to make 30. That means I can equip Soul Edge in the next fight, in the next Chronicle. Unfortunately, none of my people are level 20 to unlock the sickle. Neither Ninja nor... I could use Aelion, I suppose, but I want to go ahead and level up my actual guys now that I have the chance. Okay, Doom's ability available, is Fan available, Lilia's Sword available, Dancer, Barbarian, Saint have unlocked a new class. Game with Space, a few more parts available. Abelia being very soon today. I never asked you to come and save me. Full Edge. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we have any new weapons available for purchase. Since this is a, we've gone through technically half the Chronicles. Alright, what is new? Yoshimitsu Cervante. Here a Nui for Katana does piercing. Mana Suisharu gates counter sense upon your reach. Which would be better for Mega if I decide I really need. Why not both? Wave Sword. Very good. Chris Dagger isn't that great. Kazuki Maru increased reach and defense. Okay, might as well. Hercules Sword as defense and penetration. We don't care about chip damage. Grieve Edge. That's a much better Grieve Edge if and when I equip that. I'm not sure if I will, but good to have. Good thing I don't need to worry about Nunchaka anymore. Sickle, that's definitely the better sickle if we end up needing it. Dual Rod Staff sometimes does counters and penetrates guard. That's actually probably better, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Got to check the last one. Oh well. Let's see if there's anything to purchase from here. I think there should be. Gladiator and Sage are both available. Oh, so you only need to get Saint to 20 to get Sage. That's nice. No more custom characters, but I don't really need them that much.
Good speed to you. Please come again.
So I can build those guys now.
You looking for something?
Now are any of these good? Let's go Steel Fan, Tambourine. Yeah, not at the moment. I'm not using any of these styles, so yep, that's fine.
Looking for something? Come again. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Now we want to keep on staff. Dual Rod. Kunai, Kazuki, Maru. A. Rod. Dara. Assassin Daggers. Best for you. Okay. Now we get our first wonderful experience with Impregnable with Guardian Force. We are so delighted. I'm definitely going to go ahead and wait for my entire group to recover if I lose anybody in the first couple of fights before taking on the last one, since I don't have any really guaranteed unstoppableness. A level 30 Barbarian with Soul Edge is going to be pretty nice, though.
Decisive battle.
As you might expect, not going to be great against Guardian Force, but...
One. Fight.
Stop whining! Stop whining! Stop whining! Stop whining! Stop whining! Don't hold back next time.
New item unlocked, that's going to be the lance that we just saw Loopy using. Again, one of the other nice subtle things about speedrunning a fully unlocked game is that you avoid all of the unlock screens. Just a bunch of extra useless stuff to a speedrun. Theoretically, some of them might be useful if you were running it further that way. If it was a little bit easier to unlock some of the really good things over the course of the run, it might be slightly more interesting to do it entirely fresh file. It would, you know, you do enough to unlock, because you can unlock this weapon, which, as I say, is useful. You burn about 10 minutes probably on average doing the unlock right at the beginning, but oh, I can taunt now. That's right. Yes, I get to taunt. If you're watching the beginning on my vain attempts to do the Tale of Nightmare Soul quickly, you probably came away convinced that my hyping up the Nightmare style was not very accurate. But now you're going to see it in action.
Battle 1. Fight.
Now you're starting to see it in action, I should say. We have already done one. Come on, no way. Haha.
Don't hold back next time.
What are you doing, Ailey? You go too. Alright, now time to see how many we can lose against AG. Good news is, this Soul Edge weapon is probably better than a couple of others, simply because of the sidestep plus the heavy damage it deals, and the life gain back. Comboing heavy damage like the katana does isn't as good, but if it's a single attack, I can probably get a few hits in, like so. Oh, no, 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 no! Ease. I was trying to sidestep the other way, but because it lends you in a crouch, holding down just keeps you crouched instead. But that's potential. Haha! Yeah, only 2.
Listen, I just can't afford to lose.
Maybe something to keep in mind for maybe a 5th character barbarian with soul edge wouldn't be bad just for this fight. Although its 5th character would be a bad spot for it in some cases. I wonder if I could work that into the route somehow, because that did extremely well. It's really, really cruel that they put you on areas that are pretty easy to ring out as well. Kind of foolish for me to do that. As I say, I actually no. Oh, that's fine. Let's give experience to other people. I don't care. Kane cannot be involved in the fight. That's fine. I should be able to take out Luna with these 4. I mean, I have 4 characters here. And then whoever wins gets the experience. That's nice. I'm good on experience with him for now. Yeah, okay. He wouldn't even have made it anyway. So,
Decisive battle.
if I had waited, which was kind of one of the points, I could rest up Jara, get her back some hit points, but she's probably not going to be in the fight, and if so, then the others will do it anyway.
So you've come.
So you've come.
This time, it will not be like our previous encounters. See if you can defeat this sword.
Battle 1. Fight.
Now I get a bit of additional damage from the initial block that they often do.
Do you see now? You never stood a chance.
Ailey's one of the ones I need the experience on the least point, though. Luna is available. Gale Force available. Utopia now available. Blaze Cleaver, Brutal Terra, Leviathan. 6 parts now available. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and do one more Chronicle today. And then put up the stream for this week so I can have some lunch and get some things done that before I go on a little trip. Okay, how do I want to do that way? I'd rather have... Yeah, let's get some... Level 2. All the rest of you go ahead and start it. Stay back. Go ahead and go and attack that place. Hopefully they'll be able to defeat their respective enemies. If not, this could be trouble. Or it could just eat up some time. It's not a big... Okay, kind of glad about that. They're all going for down here. Got one more coming, but he wouldn't quite make it in time. As a knight, he's too slow. We'll have to go ahead and fight the 2 battles, but that's not...
Battle 1. Fight.
Go over. There we go.
Time to
Battle 2. Fight.
You can't get me with my own trick. That's my trick. They take damage from hitting too.
I must go.
Yeah, even if I don't kill all of them, it's a decent amount of experience up to level 11 now. All that coming.
I must go.
Battle 4. Fight.
One of the nice things about the Thief and Bombs is that it fully encapsulates the class very well. Putting these classes in this game, for the most part, doesn't do a whole lot, but certain of the styles are definitely very appropriate for the class that they are. I think Iron Sword is one of them, which is why the Barbarian acts in, which is why Barbarian being Iron Sword is pretty basic, because, so that's why, for instance, the, yeah, so much for that. That's why the victory, pose for a perfect Barbarian is, Iron Sword is that seemingly maniacal laughter. Pretty much all of the base weapons are mostly based on their class, and I was afraid of this. Jeez. Yep, Kiarkus decided to be far too defensive and counterattacky. I might have to restart this, but oh well. At the very least, I will get more experience for my peeps. There's a chance not, but with 2 knights coming in and attacking this very low stronghold, it's gonna be tough. There's a chance she can make it back in time, but I doubt she will, actually. We'll find out.
Final battle. Fight.
This is reality. You must learn to accept it.
Yep, just gonna be short. There we go. Too bad. Probably ought to go ahead and have all 3 of those characters remaining back there. She did make it up to 14, which is really good. Gonna go ahead and give Kay try to get him to 20. That's drawn more people over to Ailey. Kind of bad. I don't want her to get that much experience. Oh well. Once all the cavalry are in place, I'll go ahead and start my first battle. Then maybe have Zhara do the next crew. That way I'm a little bit safer to not losing this Chronicle again.
Battle 1. Fight!
Ooh, okay, finally become the stop being the only character with more losses than wins. Quit showing off, he said. He was right. Although I wasn't showing off so much as trying for a quick ring-out victory.
Battle 3.
If I'd gotten it, it would have been faster, better, but I failed, so suffered for it. Oh, come on.
Battle 4. Fight!
Yeah, one of those moments where they decide to do their thing first and you just lose.
Battle 5. Fight!
Yay, Zhara gets the experience here, though. I think he does have more wins than losses now, though, after going 3-1 there. Or he's very close. Yeah, I think he's 8-9 now, so not quite. She says very politely as she does the Japanese insult.
Battle 1. Fight!
Come on.
Battle 2. Fight!
Which is why I usually go low and then high. Because they'll just duck under the low and good news is I'll recover before even if he somehow goes all out crazy and kills Kane again. Oh gee. Which he came close to. But my other guys would recover before he could do anything. No, Kierkegaard is always unfair.
Decisive battle. Final battle. Fight.
Oh jeez. Lucky. Sometimes it will count me as getting hit by the ring out first in those circumstances. Okay, that's level 20. That will unlock the sickle, which is very good. What was that for?
Decisive battle.
These fights are probably going to get Ailey up to level 30.
Battle 1. Fight.
Nice. That was all his fault.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well,
What? Impossible.
I have to change my strategy. I was winning that, and then things went badly. Well, now I can have somebody else who needs experience more. That way I'll just continue with this group around in a circle and go around, yeah. Where is she going to go is the question. We'll have to now go through 2 more strongholds to begin with in order to reach Raphael. So I might as well go the way I can send L5 at, which is that direction.
Final battle, fight!
Listen, I just can't afford to lose.
Battle 1, fight!
It can't be. I
Well, at least you made level 20. I don't think that one's actually involved in the combat. I guess we'll find out. That's the big problem here.
Final
Nope.
battle, fight!
Well, at least that means I'll get to choose once I'm done with Rowan who fights next. Well, not entirely sad about that either. Haley already has a lot of experience. Doesn't need as much more as these other people. You can see how much behind in experience you normally are in this game. Because I've killed pretty much everything with only 6 troops total. Including the ones that Mega got to do, which unfortunately are a little bit wasted.
Final battle,
And my levels don't nearly compare to these guys.
Don't hold back next time.
Hey, over here, you might want to rethink this. That is the lance that he had, which is really cool and really, really long. Fun. Back for a second. Fortify this up so they'll respawn here to the action. Oh. He's going to arrive just in time to fortify up this stronghold. Level 3 poison.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Hey, hey, over here! I'll take you on anytime you want.
Okay, Ailey. End. Go all the way to the end. A all the way to the end. Zara all the way to the end. Pain. Attack the main stream. Power up. Don't get to see any battles in strongholds like that normally. There are lots of interesting strongholds here, but you never get to see fights in any of them because of everything is defense down, which is basically the same as power up.
Decisive battle. Battle 1. Fight.
Now he's getting desperate, but it's not too late.
Do you see now? You never stood a chance.
Kind of hoping that he would actually get strong enough to kill her so I could give the experience to one of the other three who need it more, but oh well.
Decisive battle.
So, you've come. Worthless servant of strife, you shall pay with your blood. For daring to defy me!
Battle 1. Fight.
Stop whining! Stop whining!
Not quite the reach I want. Watch her die easily though.
You're open!
Aurelia has been unlocked. More items in the armor shop. Sacrifice, the Grieve Edge available, Black Widow available. Thief and Ninja have new classes because they made 20. Means they get their sickles. Alright. That was a nice, good run.
3.
Gonna go ahead and put that up here for today. And next week we'll resume this. Monday, of course, we'll be back to more regular speedrunning. I say it might not take me that long to get things done. This is about 4 hours. Not too bad, considering. We'll see you all later on Monday.